I think within Gen X, girls were taught by the women in our lives and society at large that marriage was sort of the crown jewel of life's experience. It wasn't unusual if you were unmarried and, say, in your 30s to be asked why you weren't yet married, or think something was somehow wrong with you, or have this knee-jerk reaction, especially of wanting to set you up with some eligible bachelor that they knew. And I remember spending the better half of my 20s wondering why I couldn't find the one, and looking at my friends who were getting married and feeling just both pangs of jealousy, I guess, and regret that I wasn't experiencing this rite of passage. And it was even worse because people would bring it up like there was this underlying feeling of being somehow defective. And I was buying into this marriage myth. And when I look back on it, I think it was this oppressive feeling that I still believe to this day robbed me of a chunk of my self-esteem and my confidence. But also it robbed me of the fun and the adventure of being young and in my 20s, because it was like there were so many things that I wanted to be doing, but in the back of my mind there was this big to-do on my checklist, and it wasn't really getting, as we say, to done. Beauty is so like cut and dry and in this little box of, you know, like you have to look like this, you have to be like this, and disability, unfortunately, is not in that little box. My story with a disability began when I was 31 years old, and at the time I was a competitive cyclist. We were passing over a side street called Crabapple. I had time to see the car, but not time enough to slow down. I was launched in midair, landing on the windshield of the car and falling to the ground. And at that point, I knew immediately that I was paralyzed. Really, the defining moments have been realizing that I could still do the same things that I did before, and that I would just have to learn how to do them a little bit differently. I wish we could see beyond beauty as being just one standard. I want people to see disability as worthy instead of a curse or burdensome. There are so many good things that come along with disability, but most people don't realize that because they're too focused on appearance or on stigma. I always got the compliment of being inspirational, and that I think was because I was an athlete, but it always stopped there. It was never getting the compliment of actually being beautiful. Disability is just another form of being human and another form of living your life, and maybe it's different, but I probably have had a more rich life since having a disability than I ever did before. And I think a lot of that comes from just knowing that I got a second chance in my life, and to show people that individuals with disabilities are worthy, that they're beautiful, that they can find love. And I think it's been really a journey to not only finding myself, but really finding my voice.